you signing your life away when you sign up to Lime e-scooters? More than 1 million Lime rides have been taken in New Zealand since the scooters were first rolled out in Auckland, Hutt Valley, Christchurch and Dunedin. A milestone that coincides with ACC recording more than 1,000 e-scooter related injuries, ranging from grazers to serious head injuries. Serious enough for one woman in Dunedin to have part of her skull removed. We'll hear from her later in the show. And now Lime is being sued on behalf of a Florida woman left with catastrophic brain injuries after a crash. Our reporter Nita Blake-Person and cameraman Nick Monroe went out to see why limes have left such a sour taste for many.
It's been 4 months since Lime scooters hit the streets of New Zealand and 3 months since Aucklander Sue Crang had her first run-in.
I was hit by a scooter, a young 14-year-old, he told me his age, who lost control and skidded into my ankle.
Sue was knocked over. She thought her ankle was broken, but later found out her Achilles tendon was splitting, and it's taken months of physio to help it heal.
Extremely painful because I had to have, I couldn't wait there for 3 weeks.
The 14-year-old who hit Sue shouldn't have been riding a Lime. Included in the pages upon pages worth of sign-up terms and conditions is a requirement that users are 18 or over. But does anyone actually read those? When you signed up, did you read through all 35 pages of...
Nah.
Does anyone read through them?
Nah, definitely not.
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, doesn't seem they do it. Because I think that's why people get hit, isn't it? You don't actually read terms and conditions or the safety.
Well, especially if it's on your phone, because, you know, if you sign up on your phone, then you can't even physically hardly scroll through that. It'll take you a couple of hours.
I think there's no chance that you read it. It's 35 pages long. Most people are going to be signing up the app on their phone, which means you've got small font. You'll spend half a day scrolling through your phone trying to read it.
What do you reckon the chances are of people reading these 35 pages?
Oh, very, very limited. They might glance at the cover page and that would be it, I would imagine.
Have you read these 35 pages of terms and conditions?
No.
So what exactly are scooter users signing up to? Well, no double-up rides, no underage riders. It recommends you use your own helmet and follow all local laws.
This contract is very good at saying it's all care, no responsibility for Lime. So they make recommendations about what you should do, but most of the contract is about telling you that they aren't going to be responsible for anything that you might do while you're riding the scooter.
Grant Nicholson is a lawyer specialising in workplace health and safety. He says technically the contract is legal, but some parts are questionable.
Terms that are onerous, you have to bring them to people's attention, and I'd question whether people are having these sorts of terms brought to their attention. And there's also the ability for the Commerce Commission to have terms declared unfair contract terms and struck out. And I would have thought that a fair chunk of the terms in this would be a good candidate for that if the Commerce Commission wanted to act.
Since December 28, Ashanti Jordan has been unresponsive in ICU. After the Lime
overseas, riders are lining up to take legal action against Lime for their injuries. Here in New Zealand, that's not possible, with ACC protecting them from being sued.
It really means that any injury that anyone riding one suffers while they're here in New Zealand is covered by the public system. And so when you see people falling off, spraining them, wrists or ankles or whatever, or breaking bones, and they go to hospital, it's all caught by ACC and the payments are retrieved through that. So to the extent that Lime scooters aren't paying for any of that, they're effectively freeloading into the New Zealand system.
In recent weeks, Lime riders have been sent flying when the scooter's wheels have locked unexpectedly due to a mechanical fault. Lime refuses to say how many people have been affected, only that the issue is under investigation and the affected scooters have been taken out of action. But despite the risks, people are still more than happy to hop on them.
They're a lot of fun, definitely easy to get around town, saves parking places.
I would like to, but I'd probably feel better if I did have a helmet.
I think they're great though. I mean, to go from my house down to Devonport or something. And
there's nothing bad about the company operating them. It's a situation of the government needing to regulate it. We have ACC. They should be paying ACC levies, and if they pay those levies which are consummate to the risk, then there's no problem.
Over the past 4 months, ACC has logged more than 1,100 injuries due to e-scooters. ACC says Lime is paying levies, but those levies have nothing to do with their product and are based on the work their employees do, as well as how many staff they have. On a Lime scooter in Auckland for Checkpoint, Nita Blakeperson.